Hey guys, I hope you're right and I hope you're all doing well. So it's been a while, but finally I'm back with another video. So as requested by many of you guys, this video is a DIY video on how I make my U Part wigs. So firstly, you will need some good quality hair extensions and a closure. You will also need a head mannequin and a wig cap of your own preference. Lastly, you'll need some thread and a few needles. So the first thing that I do is I draw the outline of the closure. So I place the closure where I would want it to be, and I'm going for a side part, so that's the side I want it. So taking a light pencil, I then trace the outline of the closure, and this is going to serve as a guide whilst I'm basically sewing the closure onto the wig cap. So I've obviously threaded my needle with some thread, and now I basically begin to sew the closure onto the wig cap. So I make sure I stretch the closure to keep it flat and avoid any bumps and lumps at the end result. So make sure you're stretching this whilst you're sewing. So now that I've finished sewing the closure onto the wig cap, what I now do next is basically take off the wig cap from the mannequin, turn it inside out and pop it back onto the mannequin. Then I sew a track of hair around the closure, and this is basically going to avoid the wig cap from showing when the wind blows. Just as shown on screen, make sure you avoid sewing hair in front of the closure, otherwise it's going to be a disaster. So just carry on sewing the tracks and make sure they're very nice and tight and snug. So once you finish sewing the track from one side of the closure to the other side, you then flip the wig cap onto the right side and you start sewing tracks onto the wig cap. So as you can see on screen, it's very simple and easy to do. All you have to do is carry on sewing all the bundles of hair that you have got onto the wig cap. So just make sure you double stitch so that it's nice and tight, and when you get to the end of the row, then you flip your track over. I personally try to avoid cutting the wefts to avoid any form of shedding with the wig. So this takes a lot of time and effort. Within time you become faster, but I surely would advise you to have some snacks on the side whilst making this. But eventually, if you carry on sewing the tracks, your wig should start to form and should start to look like what you see on screen now. So personally, I like to sew my last track right on top of the closure. Some people would prefer not to do this, but I do just in case the wind blows and shows that brown side of the closure. So I sew it right to the end, and after that we're basically almost done with making the wig. So I sew this track right to the end, and once that is done, I just snip off the excess track that is not needed. Once that is done, this is basically how your wig should look like. So I'm just going to snatch that off the mannequin so you guys can see the wig, and that's how it should look like inside. And now you're basically left with the lace and you're left with this pocket area. So I need to obviously cut off this pocket, and this is basically going to give way for the closure to show, and this part is obviously where your part is going to be on the wig. So once that is snipped off, I then snip off the lace because we don't want that flapping on our foreheads, do we? So to complete your wig, you will then have to make a part according to your preference. So you can tweeze a part, or you can simply leave it partless. Lastly, to make your wig secure, you can sew in an elastic strap like I have done, or you can sew in some wig combs or some wig clips according to your preference. Once that is done, your wig is complete and ready to rock. So finito, this is how the wig looks like once I've curled it. This is how it looks like once it's straight. Hey! And I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. As always, please do thumbs up if you like more DIY videos. Also make sure to check me out on my social networking sites, and if you haven't done already, do make sure to check out my previous video, which was an eye mats haul slash a makeup haul. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, speak to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.